look at this truck ahead of me. I have been following this guy for the last, I don't know, at least 5 miles, something like that. And it's a big pet peeve of mine. He has been driving with, I'm guessing he's one of those 2-foot drivers. 1 foot on the brake and 1 foot on the accelerator. Because he's been accelerating and his brakes have been on the entire time. Now, I am assuming that he doesn't have some sort of electrical problem and his brake lights are just staying on, because I see this every once in a while, and I know there are several people out there that drive around using 2 feet. Just a pet peeve of mine, drives me nuts. But anyway, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. You know, I want to answer a question, one that I've been getting a little bit on this channel, but more on my other channel, Hybrid Now. And that question is, why aren't you driving your Toyota Tacoma on this long distance trip that you keep talking about? You know, originally over on that channel, I had bought a Tundra, and I was going to take that trip on a cross-country trip, about 24 hours, something like that, one way. Well, obviously I don't have the truck anymore, so I can't take it. Instead, I replaced it with a Prius, the new redesigned Toyota Prius. Now, before you give me a bunch of flack, until you've driven that car and seen it in person, I don't want to hear it. It's awesome. I used to be a Prius hater. Now, I'm a Prius lover. Toyota was brilliant in their redesign of this car. It's awesome. But the question comes up because there's a lot of cross-watchers, people that are on both channels, you know, gee, Rob, why aren't you going to take the Tacoma? And I thought about it. I considered taking the Tacoma, but there's a few reasons why I'm not. And if you're wondering what I am going to be taking, it's the Prius. Now, first off, speaking of the Prius, is fuel economy. Right now in that car, I am getting 52 miles per gallon. 52. I have been lucky lately in the Tacoma, and I'm getting 17. You know what, 4 times, 3 times, whatever it is, less, 3 times, I guess, in the Tacoma than I do in that car. That means it'll cost me 3 times as much. That means I'm going to have to stop and get gas more often. I don't want to do that. That's the biggest reason, I guess. I can go further without stopping and adding time to an already long trip by taking the Toyota Prius. Gas, fuel economy, of course, the cost is another concern there. I'll save a little bit of money, but man, when you're taking a trip that's that long, do you want to really stop every so often to have to get gas when you don't have to, when you have a choice? I don't want to do that. Next up is comfort. You know, I've been kind of paying a lot of attention to how the Tacoma feels. You know, driving around on freeways and stuff, going to the Toyota dealership. Never do that. It's always a bad thing. But I've been paying attention to how it feels as compared to the Toyota Prius. And I've got to say, another area where Toyota kind of hit it out of the ballpark with that car. It is comfortable. The seats feel good. I don't feel like I need to get out and walk around. The sides of my legs start to hurt, under my legs, because the seats in the Tacoma are just a little bit harder. It's much more comfortable in the Prius. It feels almost like a recliner. You know, it's awesome. And I thought I could see myself sitting in this car, not having to stop for gas, longer than I could in the Tacoma without getting fatigued. Without doing that shuffling around, my rear end's killing me thing, you know? I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to, and given the choice, why would I? Now, these next couple of things are really kind of petty, but they enter my mind anyway. You know, I love the Tacoma. It's my baby. It's my favorite vehicle, and I don't want to get it damaged. You know, I took a trip to Colorado 3 years ago, whatever it was, and almost immediately when I got on the freeway, a stone hits my windshield and gives me one of those little spider web type cracks. Fortunately, since I had just started out, it didn't go any further than that. I was able to go up there and come back home, and it didn't spread. This was in a Jeep Gladiator. I don't want that to happen. I don't want the potential for damage. You know, chips and things in the front of the truck, cracked windshield. you know, who knows? All the things that can happen when you're out on the freeway. God forbid something bigger fly up in front of you. I mean, it happens. I see it here, just taking little trips now and then, let alone being on the road for, I don't know, 24 hours, whatever it's going to be. It's a petty thing, and I know it's a truck. You're supposed to drive it. You shouldn't worry about that stuff. Well, it enters my mind. It's one of the reasons that I factor in, I guess. Next up, and this is another fairly petty thing since I don't put a lot on anyway, and that is mileage. You know, I would be adding somewhere, I don't know, about what, 2,400, 2,800, let's say 3,000 miles by the time I'm done driving around where I'm going and the trip and all of that. That's 3,000 miles on the clock that I don't have to have. I can take the Prius, I can put the miles on that and save my Tacoma. And you know, I'm not sure how long I'm going to have this Tacoma now. With what's going on with the 2024 Tacoma, pricing and aftermarket additions and premiums and scarcity, and Toyota not building the hybrid version, which is what I want until we don't really know when, I might have this truck for quite a while yet. I want to keep the miles down for a couple of reasons. One, I just prefer to do that. And two, I want to have this truck worth as much as it can possibly be worth when it does come to trade it in. Doesn't mean I'm not going to drive it intentionally, but I'm not going to do things where I have another option, like taking a different vehicle on a long distance trip. Now, what am I going to miss, I guess, if I don't take the Tacoma, which I'm not, by the way. But I'm going to miss just not seeing it every day, driving it every day. I mean, I drive this truck every day. I love driving the truck. I love the way it's set up. I love the looks of it. It's advertising for the channel. I mean, it says RobMotive on the grill. That'd probably be one of the reasons to take it, by the way. I'd be going cross country and everybody I see out there would at least see the name of the channel. Maybe I should put a RobMotive grill on the Toyota Prius. What do you think? I think probably not. I think that would look tacky. Some people think it looks tacky on this truck. Whatever. I like it. So that's kind of my reasoning why I am going to be taking a Toyota Prius as compared to the Toyota Tacoma on this long distance trip. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've ever taken the Tacoma on any trip that's, let's say, more than I don't know, 20 hours one way. How was it for you? Did you spend a fortune in gas? Was it comfortable? And be honest here. I know we're all Toyota lovers, so we like to err on the positive side when we're talking about it, right? But be honest. Were you comfortable? Did you ever think, man, maybe I should have taken my, I don't know, whatever your other vehicle is instead of this truck? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.